All right, welcome. Episode 12, the Main Stand podcast. I think we have one kind of real order of business today. Let's talk about the Liverpool Man City game from this past weekend. Uh,
Yeah, Josh, let's talk about it.
yeah,
What do you have to say? I was talking a lot of shit this week in the build-up, so
my fucking
let's
guy,
hear
my
it.
fucking guy, Mo Salah. Liverpool get the 3 points. Mo Salah's just a big game player, and he tortures Man City, and he did that to João Cancelo, spun him like a fucking bottle top. Liverpool are back, baby. 2 wins on the bounce, 4 wins in 5. Liverpool are so back. This game had everything. It was the probably game of the season. I know it was 1-0, but it was awesome. Exactly what we needed at Anfield. Pep gets, you know, riled up by the crowd. Jurgen Klopp gets tossed out. It had everything. What an enthralling 90 minutes.
That was a good game, genuinely. It was a good watch. We got to watch it with Mitch. I told Mitch at halftime I thought we were going to lose, so I could
He
kind of see
did.
the writing on the wall.
He
Uh,
did. However, I did scream, I am going to shove Anthony Taylor's big bald head up his ass after the goal, like after the play on with the Holland shirt pull. But no, there was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of fun. And, words were said throughout the game. There was confidence from both of us throughout points of that match for sure.
was there? I was feeling pretty bad after like 30 minutes.
I
I
don't
did not feel very good.
I don't think so. I think you had your blue goggles on a little bit, and looking at it from the Liverpool perspective, City went out and still bossed it. We were able to work our game plan at the end of the day and finally put together some confidence, which was numero uno on our list of to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think Liverpool played a really good game, and I think that there's like a lot of credit to, especially that back four, which again I talked a lot of shit about last week. Um, your defense was really solid. I thought Robertson was like player of the game through the first like 25 or so minutes. He was really energetic down Liverpool's left. Hats off to fucking James Milner, and that's all I'm going to say
Yes.
about that.
Yes.
And I think for me, I think the man of the match was probably it's a toss up between Van Dijk and Gomez. I thought Gomez put on a really good show. I don't think him on his own smothered Holland. I think it was a mix of the fact that Van Dijk and Gomez were the two players marking him anytime he got himself into the box. And then it helped that James Milner admittedly handled Phil Foden pretty well down City's left, and we didn't really build down the right very much. I thought Bernardo Silva was our best player by far. He was absolutely everywhere for the entire 90 minutes. He always likes to put on a good show against Liverpool. I do kind of think ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a game that kind of falls on a Guardiola overthink in terms of City's shape. De Bruyne kind of occupying that like far right half space and not really operating through the middle very much. I don't think was the greatest decision. I think playing Ake at left back and then a Kanji Diaz in the middle with Cancelo on the right when Ake and Diaz have been a better center back pairing. Um, just probably was the way to do it. Just put players in places they've been familiar with throughout the season. But I mean, overall, it was a pretty bad, not bad City performance. I think City were fine. I just think Liverpool ultimately were better. Liverpool showed the levels that they should have been showing since day one. Um, I'm not super worried about this game. Anfield's always a tough place for City to go. Yeah, I was confident going into the game, but ultimately we never win at Anfield. It's not the end of the world. And what kind of Man City championship season would it be if we didn't lose a disappointing away game to a mid-table side?
What was more surprising, the fact you didn't score or the fact that we kept a clean sheet?
The fact we didn't score.
Could go either way there.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah. I mean, I think you guys have been looking better at the back over the past couple of weeks. And you were up for it. You could tell right from the get-go that you were up for it. We didn't really get Holland into the game, and I had issues with the way City set up shape-wise, but ultimately you have to tip your cap to Liverpool. Mohamed Salah he really is a phenomenal player. And I really wish that he didn't sign that new contract and went to fucking Madrid last year.
He I mean, he had that same kind of run into the goal, like, 10, 15 minutes before that, the one he missed. Great save by Ederson.
Was it miss? It was a great save. Thank you. Thank you.
I was getting there. And then Jota kind of had a free header as well. I felt like Liverpool probably should have had a second somewhere in the game. They were expected to, for sure. Ultimately, you get the one goal, and it did feel like City were just going to kind of nip us in the end, but you can't even say how much that win meant to Liverpool. You could see how much it meant to the fans and Anfield as well. It was probably the best Anfield night, I would say, this year. And yeah, I mean, I think this just puts us on a trajectory of, success, because it kind of helped get our confidence back a little bit, even after a 7-1 win against Rangers. Doing it against, the best team in the world, it's always going to give you more confidence. So, especially Mo Salah scoring a goal like that too does worlds for him.
I do have one thing, just because I had time to think about it and then think about the game. Yes, that is a foul from Haaland in the build-up to the Foden goal. But the way Anthony Taylor had been refereeing the game, I don't know if I'm a super big fan of calling it a foul. Yes, it is a foul, so ultimately right decision, but it didn't feel like that was the way the game was being refereed. And also, I did not appreciate him stopping a City attack to send off Klopp. I don't like that. I don't think Klopp should have been sent off, really. Like, yeah, he touched the fourth official, whatever, sure. Was not a huge fan of Anthony Taylor stopping what looked like a decent attack to send off Klopp there. At the end of the game, I wanted to fight Anthony Taylor. So
I think everyone did. I'm gonna disagree that the way that it was called, or I'm gonna disagree that you're saying that that's not how the game was called. What happened was exactly how the game was called all day, and it was play on, play on, play on. So letting 30 seconds of buildup happen after the Haaland foul is exactly how he called the game. I don't agree with it, because it was a foul and it should have been blown dead before the goal even got there, because that happened at midfield. But if you're gonna play the game one way, do it consistently throughout. I do agree with you there.
I mean, it was right, Alisson had his hands on the ball anyway, so it would have got taken back.
I think ultimately too. I was even saying that to Mitch when we were watching the game, because Mitch was having a little meltdown when we scored. But I was even saying I think the goal was going to get called back, because like you said, Alisson's hands were completely over the ball. Yeah. But it was just weird refereeing from Anthony Taylor. We're gonna pump Brighton this weekend, hopefully, and things will be back to the way they're supposed to be.
Yeah. What'd you think of the? It seems like this rivalry is getting a little bit nastier.
I kind of like it, I like the fact this game has an edge to it. I like the fact that all of your fans hate my favorite City player. And I like the fact that the players kind of are, getting a little chippy with it. I like the fact that Bernardo is the way that he is. I like the fact that Guardiola gives it back to your fans. I like the fact that Klopp is very invested in the rivalry, but I like the fact that I think at the end of the day, Guardiola even said it himself. When they both retire, he's going to share a big glass of wine with Jurgen Klopp. Because ultimately, I think that they're two great coaches. And I think Klopp is a little bit of a twat, excuse my French, and he can be a little bit of a whiny bitch to the media often. But I think he's a great coach, and I really like the rivalry that the two of these coaches are creating. It's something that, I don't know, a lot of coaches are very like buddy, and a lot of rivalries are like rivalries, but they're not. But I like the fact that this game really, really has like an edge to it, because they're two really good teams. Like there's like a rivalry between like Liverpool and United, but over the past few years, it's been like all Liverpool and the occasional United win. And the rivalry between City and United has been like so lopsided since like 2012 that none of the games like really matter. There was like the one derby that mattered, and when City first won the league in 2012. But then after that, United like stopped us from winning the league by 19 points that one year, and we just won it when they lost to West Brom 4 days later. So there isn't a lot of rivalry in the Premier League that feels like City Liverpool right now, which is why I kind of like the bitterness to it, the edginess, the like shit could actually pop off in these games, and it's fun.
It's as much as Klopp loves to whine, I love watching Pep get unraveled at Anfield, and I don't think it was even him going at our fans. I think that's like a WWE moment of like him, like he doesn't get that energy at the Etihad, so he was enjoying Anfield while he could. And I think he admires Anfield. I think he would fucking join Liverpool in a heartbeat if he had the chance. Like before Man City. I think he adores our club like secretly. We live like so rent free in his head. Just as much as you live rent free in my head.
And City lives rent free in Klopp's. It's a flat circle.
And on your Bernardo point too, he really just wanted Mo's shirt at the end of the day. But who doesn't? It was the closest a City player got to Salah all night. So
that's fair. You're really getting these in over since last week. So
I had these all prepped and written down, baby. I've been thinking about them all week.
I gotta respect it. Every time you see Josh glancing down, he's not actually looking at anything. He's just looking. He has a little note card with all the digs he's got written down for me for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, Pat and I get light notes this week because Josh was too busy writing down one-liners to throw at Pat.
That's why it's gonna be a short episode this week.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that kind of wraps it up. I mean,
I think the other one big note is Jota. He's now out of the World Cup.
You said that with some real finesse, Mitch. I think.
Yeah, sorry.
That would pass.
That is sad.
It's very sad. I did want to kind of bring that up because we're 5 weeks away from the World Cup, 4 weeks away from the World Cup now.
Yep.
We're in crunch time to the start of the second half of the season, so big miss. But I think with the midweek games, we'll get into we'll figure it out. Liverpool are riding high. We got it turned up to 11 now.
I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the episode. Minnesota United's run has ended.
Oh no!
Lost on penalties.
And they lost to a Panenka. Ended their season in pens. It was 5-4, right, in penalties, Josh?
Goalie got sent the wrong way every single kick. It's tough. It was in Dallas too, so I stayed up to like 12:40 to watch the end of it. It was awful.
Jeez.
But so MLS is done for the foreseeable future. I think we're going to touch on MLS later, but we'll move on to. You guys want to talk about just like the couple of midweek games today? Not that much, but.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch these games today. Admittedly, I normally do. Today, I did not. I saw that I saw that United lost to fucking
Tottenham.
No, other way around. United beat Tottenham.
United beat Tottenham. Yeah.
I saw that Tottenham lost to United and Tottenham conceded to Fred. So I think these guys are frauds. I think we overrated them.
Probably.
Chelsea with a 0-0 draw against Brentford today. Little lackluster. First real lackluster performance from the new manager in charge, this spicy James Bond villain with his turtleneck.
He made 5 changes to the side. Broja started today, a few different players in there. So
big rotation, yeah.
Did you guys see that thing on Sky Sports where the managers interviewed each other?
No.
It was on Twitter.
What
Interesting.
Managers?
It was Potter and Thomas Frank, the Brentford manager, right? That's the name, Thomas Frank. Am I stupid?
Yeah.
They both were at the Sky Sports desk like together.
Who would you guys have? What would your ideal interview look like? Who's interviewing who in the Premier League?
I would like to see. Can we bring someone back?
No, you can't bring Sean Dyche back.
No, not Sean Dyche.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go. You bring someone historical back if you want to.
No, not historical. They got fired this year. I would just like to put Conte and Tuchel in a small room together for an hour.
That's a good one.
That'd be so much fun.
I'm trying to think.
Two managers sitting in a room together, having a conversation.
I mean, the easy one is like Pep and Klopp, but that feels boring. So no.
No. I would probably say Jurgen and Arteta. I'd
I
probably
would say
Jurgen
Jurgen and
Arteta.
Eddie Howe. I think Jurgen and Eddie Howe would go at it if they were in a room together. I don't think Jurgen likes him at all, but I think that's a fun concept from Sky. I think they should do more of that stuff. They are getting a little bit more fun with the soccer coverage, not even on Sky, but on all the stuff. I think CBS again this year has killed it with they do so much fun stuff with Jamie and Micah.
That's the best desk team in football right now. They're awesome.
Maybe in sports. It's like the TNT boys with like Charles and Shaq is like the only thing that compares.
Yeah, they're solid, but like that's like our Chuck and Shaq, you know. Yeah. We get Henry and Carragher.
They had Dempsey on the other day, and they put like a highlight of Micah getting in Dempsey's face when it was like full on.
Oh yeah, the you don't know where I'm from, bro moment. Yeah, that is good. That is good.
I love that.
You guys wanna take it out of bounds? You guys wanna get off the football pitch for a little bit here?
Let's get off the pitch.
Yeah.
So probably the biggest off pitch thing that happened is Big Benz gets his very well deserved, might I add, Ballon d'Or. We all kind of saw it coming. He was definitely the far and away favorite to get there. Top three was Benzema, Mane, and Kevin De Bruyne. So good day for City. Good day for City. Good day for Liverpool. Good day for football because Benzema got his deserved Ballon d'Or. And also City won the Ballon d'Or Club of the Year. So
yeah, that was bullshit if we're being honest.
Well, it's more than just the men's game is the thing. Our women won a trophy, or both our youth teams won their respective leagues. We had like our disabled team, or like the not paraplegic. That's probably incorrect, but like the handicap team, they won their league too. So I think it's like a little bit more than just the men's team. The men's team clearly wasn't Club of the Year or Team of the Year.
I thought that was the category.
No, it's team like club as a whole, and like a bunch of city teams. Or a bunch
they got
of
New York City FC.
That's the City football group. We don't count them. And but yeah, more than just the men's team this year. And I think that was kind of why it was the way that it was. But I mean, also it could just be Sheikh Mansour paid him some money, so we won something. So who knows?
Yeah, free press. I'm glad to see Mane up there. I do think Salah could have had a run at it. I think losing too many, he lost the Champions League, lost AFCON, didn't qualify for the World Cup, which kind of put him probably lower on the list than he should have been. But
bad 3-month spell of games too.
Yeah, the like back half of 2022 for him wasn't the best. He's picked it up, right now, but not enough time, I don't think. I mean, outside of that, I think the only other thing to talk about, I know we said we weren't going to talk about the MLS, but this has kind of been gaining some steam. Josh, I think you probably are a little bit more voiced on the movement as a whole, so we'll let you intro it, and then I can give my opinion, because I certainly have about this topic.
If I was prepared, I would have had the hashtag up, but it's a hashtag I've been seeing more frequently, and it's definitely making its rounds on Twitter. Yeah, people want relegation in the MLS. It's like really, it's kind of interesting, because it's like half, completely like right down the middle. Half want it, half don't, and both sides are extremely passionate and hard-headed. But I mean, yeah, it's a really kind of popular discourse right now. I'm in favor of it. I think relegation makes everything more exciting. I think when you're growing, the U.S. is interesting in soccer landscape because we're basically where England was, 100 years ago. We're building kind of this plethora of clubs, but we're putting them in leagues where they can't really move up or down based on success, which is kind of bullshit. And we basically have the American sports setup of, if you're an owner, you can't really fail because you just stay in the same league all the time. I think, again, that's fraudulent. So I think for soccer to be successful at the USL level, USL League One, there has to be some incentive to winning the league and moving up a division. I think if not, you're just going to kind of separate those leagues, and nothing's going to be connected. It's not going to be kind of a cohesive soccer unit. There's going to be a bunch of different leagues that, I don't think it grows interest.
It's not going to feel kind of like the pyramid that's set up in England. And yeah, I think, Josh, every point you make is pretty much how I feel. I think that relegation is necessary. It forces these owners like our good friend Bob Kraft to care about his teams, because if he doesn't, they're not gonna do well. If the Revs were in a relegation battle this year, for example, it would force the owner to care about them next season because they need to put the investment in. They're going to lose their money. another thing just in terms of growing the game. And it was something I saw in the pro rel argument on Twitter. I didn't realize it was like part of like the discourse that was going on, but somebody posted there was a team in the lower levels of England that were playing in like a tournament or something like that, you know, and it was like a pretty broadly televised tournament, and like it was like a 6,000 person venue. Imagine what that does for a small club in the US that, you know, gets promoted to the MLS because they're better than fucking FC Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Just a bad team, and they get promoted, and then they're getting all this TV money. They can expand their stadium. They can give opportunities to their fans and things like that to like do things on like the national level, and you know, you grow the club that way. And I think that what you said kind of hits the nail on the head with these owners that don't really have to care, and it's fraudulent that they can just buy a club, put it in the MLS, and just kind of walk away from it, so to speak, and not really actually care about the success. It forces these owners to care about these teams that they're buying, and it force them to make good decisions. And I think it just improves the quality of the game in the US overall if the best teams get to play in the best league and not just like the owners get to keep themselves in the MLS forever. It's just not how it works in anywhere else in the world for this sport. And, you know, maybe we shouldn't be looking to Americanize it because clearly we don't do it the best anyway.
Yeah, and Wrexham, I think, are a really good case study for people to go off. The way, you know, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have kind of went in there with, you know, obviously a lot of funds, but they're kind of just, you know, regular celebrities. The way they've kind of gone in and shown how you can highlight not only a football club, but a city as well and grow it exponentially, I think is a thing of like, why wouldn't we want to do that in the United States? Why wouldn't we want like a celebrity in charge of Forward Madison where they can invest money, highlight not only the soccer team, but the city? That just seems like obvious to me. And then, you know, you saw Wrexham this past weekend got all the way to, you know, they were on ESPN Plus for millions of Americans to watch. It just seems obvious, but owners are too greedy. They're all American, so I'm kind of not thinking that the MLS will ever change. It's just one of those things that just seems so fucking pointless.
It's going to take a lot of time, and I think the fact that it's split 50-50 now, what was it 5 years ago? You know, I feel like every 5 years we start having this conversation pop up, especially right around the World Cup time where soccer is at the forefront of the world. It's on the global stage. And it blows my mind that we're still in a position in America where we're so like the general consensus is the game isn't American. It isn't fun. It's boring. It's not worth it. And to give a team that's in the USL or USL 1 that opportunity to work and get up to a top level just seems like an absolute no-brainer. It feels like over time, 5 years from now, we'll have the same conversation again. The numbers will get skewed. The older this population gets of people our age and younger, where the game is being changed at the grassroots level, it's being displayed for more people, it's easier to access. Soccer will eventually get to that in America. And I can't see it not growing that way, the amount of people that do follow the game now.
It also adds importance to like, you know, shitty teams playing at the end of the season.
Yep.
Who cares about like even the Revolution, like those last couple games? Who cares?
You're right.
Who cares?
I certainly didn't.
Yeah, there's no point in it, but you would care if you were going to get sent down to the USL.
Right.
For sure. That's the thing that people don't really understand. And I hate the people who stand up for the MLS as like the prime example of a sporting league. If you have that much pride in the MLS, something's wrong with you physically. I mean, it's just insane. But I digress. I'm not sure what else we had. We didn't talk about Liverpool West Ham. Just Liverpool won that again. So again, 2 wins on the bounce for Liverpool. I think that was the last Premier League thing to really touch on. there are some games this weekend. Like Pat said, you're probably going to wax the floor with Brighton. We're probably going to do the same with Forest.
And, I mean, United Chelsea's a big one.
United
Chelsea is a big one. And I honestly, I'm surprised that Leicester are in last right now.
They're terrible. They are
terrible.
When they didn't buy anyone in the summer.
They didn't buy anyone. They lost everyone. But like they're a point behind Nottingham Forest with a game in hand after 10, 11 games. So they have 5 points from 10 games. I'll be keeping a closer eye on Leicester moving forward, I think.
They're abysmal. They genuinely could get the drop if they keep playing this way.
Danny Ward's their goalie, I think. Our boy.
He's the one that let in the own goal to lose to, who was it? Roma in 2014 at Fenway.
Oh, preseason.
I think he was in net for that game against Roma, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they suck bad. I mean, they have like good individual players, but I think they're just kind of, I don't know if they're really ready to give it a go. It just seems like they're not really up for it.
Rogers still at the helm?
Yeah.
Yep. Fans can no longer buy happy birthday messages on the Jumbotron.
Oh yeah.
Because Brenda out.
And Zach Rogers.
Yeah, Zach Rogers. Yeah, they your fans can no longer buy them, which it's funny. It's funny.
Villa play tomorrow, so by the time this comes out, Gerrard, probably could get the sack as well. I'm surprised he didn't get sacked. There was rumors he got released a couple nights ago, but looks like he's still there.
We will see. I can't wait for Villa to come out managerless and just not say a word tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. Supposedly, they're trying to get Poch back into the managerial sphere, which Poch to Villa would be very funny.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know. It's funny how these managers go from like the highest of highs to Aston Villa.
Yeah, Southampton, Spurs, PSG, Villa. It's a
Aston
natural
Villa.
progression.
It's pretty funny. You'd think like you'd look at that and it's kind of like Shaqiri's career path as a player. If you flip it on its head, it's like insane. Like if Poch goes to Villa, it's like you flip his managerial career around, and it's like the trajectory you kind of like expect of some managers, and it's just like it's very funny to see that, fall from grace, if you will. But Poch was never really like, I mean, he had a couple of years with Tottenham, sure, but he was never really like that guy at PSG. And I don't know, I think he was one of those managers that people kind of overrated because, he had a good batch of players and he had a system that worked for them, but it doesn't really work anywhere else he goes.
He does feel like he can handle a big player, I feel like, which I think that kind of suits him, but I think he would get fucking torn apart at Villa. I think Villa probably, I didn't think through enough of maybe the difficulty of getting that young group of talent to play like that Milan Christmas tree formation. I think that's just too hard for them defensively, which is why they haven't done really well at all this year. But again, they have shocking players too. I mean, Tyrone Mings and that own goal he gave to Chelsea was, I think, they played Chelsea this past weekend, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Mings had an awful game, which he's like used to be their captain, so tells you all you need to know.
He's on Fraud Watch.
He's been on Fraud Watch for a time. I think the only other thing we have to talk about, we're gonna pump the Mariners game again for you all. The USA Soccer Night they're having. Again, this is the night of Friday, November 25th, Black Friday. After the USA plays England, you see Mitch repping the Maine Blues.
Their alternate jersey from year one.
Yeah.
Shout out Oakhurst one time.
Best milk in Maine.
That's actually true. If we had an episode on Maine brands, Oakhurst is up there for me. Their milk's very good. Anyway, back to the Mariners before I get on my milk rant. You want the championship package? It's $130. You get VIP access to the viewing area. You kind of get in that front section to watch the USA England game, which is going to be absolutely on its head. I think we're all going to be down there filming content, stuff like that. You get a limo ride to Reraw and then to the Mariners game as well. at Re-Raw, you get food and drinks.
Mm.
And you're in the ice level lounge suite at the Mariners game, so it's not just your average seat. And you're taking home some beer and a scarf as well. There's a couple other packages, but this is the one we're really trying to get people to buy. We want that soccer and hockey crossover. And I think you can reach out to the Mariners, probably their website, for more info on that.
It is worth noting too, if you've got like prior commitments during the day, but you still want to go to like the hockey game, for example, you gotta like watch the game on your phone, or you've like already got these pre-existing plans for the game. You're like getting together with friends, you're going to do something, but you want something to do after the fact. The premier package is only $55 for this as well too, and you still get that lounge seat ice side with the Mariners, and it's food included in the hockey game, and you still get to take home the scarf. So if 130 is a little bit out of your price range, but you still want to go to this, you still want to go to the hockey game, you still want to be involved with all this stuff, the premier package is probably where it's going to be at if your pockets are anything like mine.
For sure. And also too, this is coming out Thursday morning, whatever.
The 20th, yep. October 20th.
We're also going to be at the Mariners game Saturday. And that's at 6. Is
that the home opener?
Yes, correct. The home opener for the Mariners this year. Us three are going to be there, so if you see us, come chat. We're more than friendly, more than willing to talk some soccer, on demand. So look out for some Mariners content coming soon, and I think we'll have some smaller videos kind of coming up too, interviews, short content, and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Anything else from the
completely
boys?
Go Liverpool. It feels good to be back.
Yeah, we're back. We are back.
So back.
We're back.
You're finally back in the top 10.
Top 10.
That's where you are.
We're back in the top 7.
Top 7. Yeah, we're almost in the Europa League window, baby.
Did somebody lose to put you in 7th? You were in 8th the last time I looked at the table.
No, we won today.
Oh, that's right. Oh, so you're still in 8th. There's games in hand.
Oh.
That was our makeup game.
Yeah, we have a game in hand, don't we?
We have a game. No, we're even with Arsenal and City, I believe now. Or no, we're even with City. We have a game in hand on Arsenal.
So which means you have a game in hand in City, because our game today got postponed.
Wait. Standing?
We have played 10 games.
Everybody's played 10.
Dude,
today was our makeup game.
Queen Elizabeth fucked everything up.
Why'd she? You know what? I had my say on it on the episode that she died.
So we're back level on games, no games in hand, and we are sitting 7 points behind City, and
yeah, we're gonna smack the shit out of Nottingham Forest too this weekend. That's gonna be a 9-0 probably. But
hopefully.
Cannot wait for you to lose. I'm gonna laugh my ass off when you lose.
Dude, if we lose to Nottingham, that would be bad. I don't think that's gonna happen. But
if Dean Henderson's wearing a hat and has holes cut in his socks, we're fucked.
Nico Williams bombing up the right. Anyway,
it's gonna be a hell of a weekend. That does it for episode 12. We'll see you guys at the Mariners this weekend. Monument Square in a month. We got a ton of fun stuff coming. Liverpool are so back. The Maine stand in the mood.
Deuces.
This is episode 12?
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that. Bye, everyone.
Deuces.
Peace.